We are in the Parsha where the Israelites have left Egypt. Pharaoh has thrown them out after the final plague, and they are camped at the sea, between the sea and a place called Baal Tzifon, and they're there, and they are told to stop. God tells them through Moses to stop. And they stop, and they see, as they're camped, they see and hear the chariots of Pharaoh coming. And they are trapped between this oncoming army of chariots, 600 chariots, and the water. And they do what any of us might do in that circumstance. They panic. So they are afraid. They're flipped out. They panic. And what's the first thing they do when they panic? What do good Jews do when they panic? They turn on their leaders. The Jews immediately turn on Moshe and said, what? There wasn't enough graves in Egypt? It was for want of graves in Egypt that you brought us to die in the desert? We told you we wanted to stay in Egypt. First of all, that never happens in Torah. We do not hear them tell Moshe that they want to stay in Egypt. But they are panicking, and the first thing we do when we panic is we look for who to blame. Who can I pin this on? Because that's what's really important, is to find out who it is I can blame and put all of my anger, that is my cover for how afraid I am. Anger is generally a cover for fear. I need a place to put that and externalize that. And God and Moshe understand this. Moshe understands, the great leader understands what they're doing. And so rather than respond to the charge, which a lot of us might do, Moshe is wise enough and patient enough to actually address what's happening. And it looks like just a story. He tells them, be still and watch what God is going to do for you today. And your job is to tacharishun, is to be quiet right now. And so it sounds like, okay, he's just telling them, be still, it's going to be okay, God's going to work on your behalf, don't worry about it. But really, our mystical interpretations, our spiritual interpretations go so much deeper that Moshe is actually telling each one of us, Torah is teaching every single one of us what to do when we're stuck between the water and Pharaoh. We can't go back. We're stuck. We know we can't go back. And yet we're terrified to go forward because we just don't see a way forward. It looks like nothing's going to open up and we're going to drown. We're going to be in over our heads, literally. And so Torah is teaching us what to do in those circumstances. It's saying, hityatzvu. The first business is to just stand still. Don't do anything when you're in that state. It's not going to be helpful. Just stand still. Hityatzvu. Just stand still for a minute. Ur'u, and see. Also in Hebrew, the word for look. All right, stand still, look around, and see what's actually going on. The al tira'u, and don't be afraid, Moshe says. We can't let fear take over. When we allow fear to govern, when we become one with the fear, terrible decisions get made. Terrible, terrible things happen. So we're told, don't let fear take over. See, look at some options. Yeah, going back to Egypt is one option. Probably not the best option. But we can't see anything else until we stop, identify the fear, and calm down. And then Moshe says, tacharishun. Shut up. That's the other thing we need to do, is shut up, which we're not very good at. Kids in the room, are grown-ups very good at shutting up? No, they're not, right? Especially when we get afraid or frustrated or feel stuck. Then we start, right? We have to just be quiet. And then God speaks and says, Lama titzak alai? Why do you call out to me? God says to Moshe. Speak to the people and tell them, Vayisa'u. Go, move. The water hasn't opened. Why would God expect the people to move? But God says, speak to them. Not yell at them. Not boss them around. Speak to them. Don't argue with them. Speak to them and tell them to move forward. Because it's not until we move forward that anything can open up. So we need to tune out whatever's getting us so flipped out and afraid that we lost our ability to move forward. And it's when they move forward, that's when the miracle is effected. That's when what was never seen before as a path opens up. And Torah is telling us, We have to be willing, calmly, with great advice from really wise people, together. The people do this together. When we can do that together, take those first steps forward, all kinds of things open up that we didn't see before. So may it be for all of us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.